Good morning, this is Bonsai Anonymous, and I think it's October 8th, about quarter to 10. Very, very damp out here. I don't remember hearing it rain, but of course it did. And so instead of watering, which is I don't think is necessary after a rain, I decided to go around and take a look at some things. So what I did was, first of all, I got rid of the leaves in most of the pots. Here's one. Did I get them? Almost. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so got rid of the leaves, walked around. I'm working on the Japanese garden in the corner. Got a bunch of wood here that needs to go back, but I don't know that that's very interesting. Well, of course I don't know that anything is, but this is an example of something that I like to do. That is definitely not bonsai, but I still like it. I don't care. What makes it not bonsai, at least from what I understand, is the fact that we have three different species here, and I need to get one of these things out. One of these things out. It has been fertilized. It just didn't get a tag. Yes, now you will be. It'll be official if I can find a way to put it in. Good. Now, the white one, as I know the white tag is over there, I just dropped it. And, in honor of my extreme laziness, I'm just going to take a different one. I have a few. Okay, so this is multi-species. Can you see it? Sort of. This won't be here like it is right now. That's why I brought it over here. This is too floppy. But I've got an idea of what to do with it. But let me write down the three species here first. This is Carrotwood. And I like the way it looks. I like the leaves. I like everything. That's not the flowers up there. That's another plant. But I like it. Now, what am I going to do with it? Just keep it there, keep it grow. I might wire it, make it do something different, although I've already done a little bit of it down here, and I can see I'm going to have to get rid of that wire because it is biting in. So one of the things that you find when you pick these plants up, bring them over to the bench here, is that the wire might have cut in. Let's see if I can get that in there. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's right there. There's a little groove. Do you see that? A little groove in the wood, and that's where the old wire was. And this wire is completely reusable. And that's Carrotwood. And as I looked at it, I noticed that groove, and now I'm going to have to think of what to do with it. So what I did is I bent it that way and then back, thinking maybe I could go this way, and then no, I don't know what I'll do with that one. Maybe just chop it and let it get bushy. Okay, right here, believe it or not, is a corn plant. I don't know if it's the kind that actually gets corn. It's pretty tall. I like it. Let's get the whole picture here, how tall it is. It goes way up there. And it's going to be staying there. Okay, so I've got this little clamp thing here that is everything you can get for, what, $2 on eBay? Okay. So, yeah, I don't know that I need the wide angle this way, but what the hell. And this one is the reason that I brought it over here. And now as I'm looking at it, I'm seeing grooves in it too. So I'll get rid of all this metal, and there'll be some grooves. I don't see too many up there. I don't see any others. Okay, so there. Now all the wire's off. Okay. And what you can tell is that the wire held. In other words, we were bending this, and when we got rid of the wire, it's still bent. And we were bending this, got rid of the wire, it's still bent. And that's the time to take the wire off. This is a strangler fig, maybe my favorite plant. It's close. Why? Well, a couple of reasons. First of all, I got a million of them. There's no way to stop them from coming up in the yard. There's no way. So why try? That's one. So they're plentiful. Secondly, do what you want. This is going to go out that way, I believe, and then back like this, and then back again like that. It's kind of what I want right there. And it's weird. Okay, so how do we do it? Well, I have my nice length of wire here, and I look at it to see if it's long enough, and it's plenty long enough. Too long, in fact. So I'll use our trusty dollar store kitchen shears. Let's see here. Probably like that right there. And right at the top of the kitchen shears, it's got good leverage, and I can cut wire with it. Not the thickest wire, but plenty. So since I'm lazy, this should probably be called the Lazy Bonsai Anonymous, but I wanted bonsai to be the first word, you know, because it's important. So I'm too lazy to go and take my other scissors out, my bonsai ones, which are right below this bench. It's not like they're in Utah or something. Okay, so, all right, so we got our little red sign. That means it was watered, or not watered. It means it was fertilized in September. That's what the red ones mean. Now, in September, it was fertilized, I believe, with, I don't know, liquid fertilizer, perhaps. That's about all I got left. So it doesn't seem to be doing too badly. This one was way back by the hot tub, so easy to, sorry about the snorting. Going outside when it's humid makes me snort. Okay, so it was back by the hot tub, and I would sit in the hot tub and look at it and every day and think, what am I going to do with this? You know, it almost looks like there's more coming here, which I like. I want it to spread out. You know, it's not bonsai. Okay, so I was kind of on that track, and I'm off it. So let me continue. Bonsai usually doesn't have. Now, all this is just based on my reading. You know, that's it. Just my reading. I'm not an expert or even really a practitioner. I just fool around. So, but what I'm reading is. First of all, let's get. I was going to clop that off, but I kind of like it. I might end up making it a shorter tree. So one thing that you'll learn, if you haven't already, is that my mind is based on non sequiturs. So I see something that needs to be done, and if I don't do it, it won't get done, and then I'm behind the 8 ball. And so that means that when I'm making a video and I'm thinking about something, and then I see something else that needs to be done, I just go ahead and do it. Okay, so I was talking about why this isn't bonsai by the book, and the main reason it isn't, I think, is, well, there's a few. The main one is that you usually don't see different species together in the same speaking. I hear my little duck squeaking, but she doesn't seem to be in distress, so I'm not going to check on her right now. Because I'm rolling here. I'm rolling, right? I'm up to 9 minutes. I'm not going to cut this short. Okay, so this is going to have to go in the ground, down to the bottom. This is not, why? It's because it's going to anchor the end of this down when I bend it around this and twist the branch how I want it. Okay, so I got to look at the branch for a second because I often screw this up. Let me see which way I want to do this. Okay, so I don't know. I maybe back a little bit. So that I'm thinking I'm going to put it in right here. Now, there's only has a 50% chance of being right here, and unfortunately for me, I usually go with the wrong side, wrong way, and then once I've done that, then I have to figure out a way to still bend it, even though the wire isn't even close to where it needs to be, and it's going the wrong direction. So just one more of my little, I don't seem to have a good grasp of, what is it, geometry or whatever it is that lets you see something and know how it needs to be when it's not there yet. I don't know what that's called, but that's whatever it's called. And I might have been able to remember some years back, but whatever it's called, I can't remember what it is now. Okay, so I'll be quiet here so I can do this. Can you see what I'm doing? Probably not. It's over here. Let's see, we're bending it around. This is a used wire, okay? It's used. And this wire is so soft that you could use it over and over again. And, okay, let me just see if, I said I was going to be quiet, but of course I'm not. You have to brace the branch. I don't know if you see that. You have to brace the branch. You have to brace the branch when you put the wire on so that the branch is not taking the brunt of the force that you're putting on the wire. Does that make sense? Okay, so if you think you're going to have trouble wiring, I would say give it a shot. What's the worst thing that can happen? I mean, the worst thing that's ever happened to me is that it hasn't bent, and that's not true. That's the second worst thing. The second worst thing, the second worst thing is that I didn't put strong enough wire on. Okay, I didn't put strong enough wire on it to make it bend. That's why I test it first by using the wire and seeing if it will push the branch. If it pushes the branch and the wire doesn't bend, then the wire is probably strong enough. Notice there's some rubber coming out of the tree up here. That may mean that I've broken it, and that's the other bad thing about wiring, is that it breaks the tree if you don't do it correctly. Now, what is correctly? I think this is a little too tight, but I'm not going to undo it. Too tight means it gets into the bark sooner. But this particular plant, the bark is pretty soft, so I don't know that there's a real way to solve that. Okay, so anyway, it's here, and now I'm going to bend it. I want it out like that and back in like that. Now, we need this to be down farther. This needs to come up. That can go back. All right, so as you can see, you can't see. That's why I have to get rid of some of these. And why am I doing this? It's because we want to see the trunk. And so I'm going a little bit overboard there. All right, so that's got to go too. So if this is the front, which I will mark because I think it is, I put a little F on it, and of course it's going to wear off quickly. You would think that I would be able to remember from one time to the next. Okay, so I'm going to keep going down, Oh my God. Now I'm going to go over here. Okay, so, where's the end? All right, so I'm going to let it go right now, the way it is, on this side. Even though I think I'm going to end up doing something like that. A little, because I don't want it to, what's the word? I don't want it to break, and I don't want it to be kind of in your face. So I need to do that. All right, so I'm going to leave it that way. It's nicely bent. Let's look over here, let's see if there's anything I can do with this. I really like this little spot right here. So, let's see. And I like that coming out there, a new leaf. You're fine. Okay, so that's it for that one today. That's it. Not really much. Not really much. I didn't do anything to the corn. Very little to this. I might have trimmed one leaf, and of course I took the metal off. Took the metal off of here and bent it crazily. Okay, so as time goes on, see my hands have this rubber on them that comes from the, it may be a rubber tree plant for all I know, but I call it a strangler fig because they seem to grow up trees a lot. Now you're solidly in there. I was going to move you forward, but you're not going anywhere. These plants, that one's a little loose, but these two are serious. So let me talk just a little bit about this before I take it back. First of all, I'd like to fertilize it. And what will I use? This. Okay, there's a little left. This is the last fertilizer I have before I have to go get some more. This is I believe it's 10-10-10, and I water the plants after I trim them with it. It's gonna have to be refilled here. That's okay. Don't have to put too much on. All right. Now you are done. But while we're looking, let's look. This strangler fig has been chopped right there. You should be able to see it. Looks like almost like a knot, and it takes a different direction. And that was chopped right there before. Is that true? Yeah. It was chopped before this wood was put on, or this metal was put on. So it was originally right here. I don't know if it had any leaves or not, but then it came back, and now it's going this way. And I just keep fooling with it. Oh, there's something I was going to say about wire too. This wire goes down to the bottom of the pot, and so I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think to make it go anywhere, you'd have to pull it right through the plant, and we're not pulling it this way, so it seems to anchor well, and that's what they all tell you to do, until I do it. Basically, I do what I'm told. But the point I'm making is chopping it here, it came back, and then the trunk was thicker. There's little roots coming out. I don't know if they're coming from that or not. Doesn't really matter. But there's a root. That's called an aerial root. It's in the air, and it's trying to find the dirt, and it'll find it, or it won't. Anyway, so chopping it here once, as far as I know, maybe more than once, but I only know of this once, has let it build the trunk more. The trunk is wider here, very nice, and it's letting it continue this little journey up this, wherever it's going. And I don't know what I'm going to end up doing with it, because it conflicts with itself a little bit, but I don't really have a problem with conflicting with yourself, it would seem. Okay, well anyway, how's that? That's a nice video. I think there's some information here for you. Once again, this is not bonsai, strictly speaking. If I took this out and put it in another pot, and that's the strangler fig, I got plenty. And this is the carrotwood. It's nicely bent, and I'm going to bend it again, but if I took it out of a pot, I could make bonsai out of it. But having three together, I haven't really seen that much. And so I don't call it bonsai. It's in a bonsai training pot, which is, I like. So that brings me to a point about this whole thing. Why not just do what you like? I mean, it's doubtful that anyone like me, who's just starting this at an old age, is going to become anything like an authority on it. All I have is the books, the videos, and fooling around. So I'm hopeful that something can be gotten from some of what I say. And if you have a question or a suggestion, please leave me a comment. And as they always say, like and subscribe. I'm up to 23 subscribers now, so I could probably use 3 or 4 more in there. If you found anything you like, go ahead, subscribe. What could it hoit? All right, Bonsai Anonymous is gone for the day.